Welcome back to Today in Rocket Science. I'm Adam Balkin. Some of the brightest young minds from across the world came together in Phoenix, Arizona to show off their inventive and always inquisitive projects at the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair. Nothing new there, but this year's fair had a few surprises of its own. Our Tara Lynn Wagner has the story.
Hundreds of the world's most promising young scientific minds converged in Phoenix, Arizona recently to go head-to-head in the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair.
I've always been interested in bacterial resistance.
The students competed in 17 different categories like environmental management, medicine and health, and microbiology, tackling serious issues with unbridled enthusiasm.
I can tell that you may be a little confused, but fear not, because we're going to educate you.
First and foremost is simply to celebrate and encourage the 1,611 students who are here, and through them to inspire all the kids coming along behind them.
A glance around the room and you might make an interesting discovery. In this sea of future scientists, girls are making waves. Among them, Megan Curry, who says, yes, barriers between women and science still exist.
But with events like these and the opportunities that are arising in college, as well as beyond, I think that continuing on and being interested in science, there's more and more ability to break out from those barriers.
The girls weren't just found in the exhibit hall, but on the stage, nabbing ribbons and the prize money that goes with them.
I think that it's one of the next steps, to get more women involved in the field.
The award ceremony may be the close of the event, but it's hardly the end of the story. Many of these students plan to continue in their fields of research, tackling some of the largest issues being examined by the scientific community today.
In the end, it was a young man from Romania, 19-year-old Ionut Buristanu, who won first place and $75,000. But of the 19 Best in Category winners, 10 were female, including Isha Correa of Saratoga, California, who received the Intel Foundation Young Scientist Award of $50,000.
I hope to use this money to go to college and also just keep making a lot of scientific advancements, and it feels amazing.
For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Tara Lynn Wagner.
And those students might one day be displaying their inventions at our next location in New York City, where young people were awestruck at the site of NYU Polytechnic University's Innovation Square, where robots, augmented reality, and 3D printing took center stage. Swimming, flying, jumping, and playing. Families came out in droves to explore the offerings of NYU Poly's Innovation Square at the World Science Festival. From collecting neurons in a virtual memory game to checking out these waterproof microchips, students got hands-on and hands-in.
I just like seeing all of the robots because things that they can do is surprisingly amazing.
So this t-shirt, I guess it has something special on it that the robot understands, and it followed me around.
The goal of the event is to spark interest in younger generations by connecting them with technology, like this station where students got to learn about the guts of electronics.
We have to get people excited about this from a young age, and we have to get the ideas turning.
If you can get, school age, young people to kind of see this stuff and realize that, it's really exciting, it's really cool, you can get a job with it.
Our Luke and his team were showcasing their new tech innovation, augmented reality. Their creation allows people to put virtual objects into their environments that can only be seen using this special app. Fifth grader Avery Miller was definitely impressed.
It is so cool. I love it. I'm very big on science, so this is very, very fun. It inspires me. I want to be a scientist at CERN, CERN, and they have the Hadron Collider there, which helped find the Higgs boson.
And from Innovation Square, Avery hopes to use her own gray matter to help uncover more secrets of science. The World Science Festival doesn't stop there. Brian Greene took science to the stage in a performance that can best be described as part theater, part living classroom. Our Shazia Khan has more.
Quantum mechanics. For one reason or another, it can send shivers down the spine of many a student grappling with this branch of physics. Even one of its founding fathers, Albert Einstein, was unnerved.
Well, Einstein came upon some strange ideas when he studied quantum physics that he thought couldn't possibly be true. So he did reject these ideas that an object here and an object here could somehow have a connection. He called it a spooky connection.
One that rewrote the rules of reality, pushing some of the greatest minds nearly out of their mind.
There were a cast of characters who were developing these ideas in the early part of the 20th century. Albert Einstein, Niels Bohr, Erwin Schrödinger. And these folks went through very difficult transition in their understanding of the world.
The whole idea of quantum jumps necessarily leads to nonsense.
These barriers and breakthroughs are explored in Brian Greene's Spooky Action, the drama of quantum mechanics. It was all part of this year's World Science Festival.
It's a play, it's a TED Talk, it's a college lecture, it's a beautiful blend of all those things.
It's cool to see like the infighting between all the famous people you see listed in textbooks.
There's a whole level of drama to it that I'm glad that we got to do this because it adds to my classroom experience as well.
For actor Michael Rausch, who is more familiar with the works of Chekhov and Shakespeare than Einstein and Bohr, says learning the material left him inspired.
So much of what we use every day, I mean, cell phones rely on the laws of quantum mechanics, so I think to just be inspired at the endless possibilities.
A world made smaller and smaller by science. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Shazia Khan.
And Science and Theater expands beyond the World Science Festival's offerings. One off-Broadway play in New York City shines the spotlight on an often overlooked 20th century inventor. Our Frank Delella explains.
It was a convergence of some of history's greatest minds on stage. Thomas Edison, Guillermo Marconi, Mark Twain, but it's the lead character in this play that stands out. The play depicts the accomplishments of the scientist and man it's named for, Nikola Tesla.
This play was important because a lot of people, to tell you the truth, didn't know about him. Because Americans mostly didn't know about Edison, which also was a great man, but Tesla completely changed the civilization, if I may say that.
Tesla is credited with making alternating current available for mass distribution. Alternating current is the type of electricity which flows through power lines and into the power outlets in your house. Ardent supporters of the Tesla legacy also claim that he was the first to invent dozens of other breakthroughs in the early 20th century, including the radio, X-rays, and remote control robots.
Tesla gave so much to the world. I mean, he really changed the world. And he's kind of a forgotten inventor. So by doing the play and a few, the Tesla cars, it's really highlighting this man and bringing him back to life.
The show goes through Tesla's life, with Dimich playing Tesla at an old age and Taylor playing Tesla in his prime, showing everything from the scientist's brilliant discoveries to his misfortunes. Although he was a brilliant inventor, he often did not get credit for his advancements, and at the end of his life died a penniless man.
He really cared about humanity, and me personally, I mean, as a human being, I'm grateful to him.
And Tesla isn't the only play making strides in science. A theater first that wouldn't have been possible without Tesla's inventions recently happened here on Broadway at Matilda. The cast and crew got a very special call from the International Space Station. Astronaut Tom Marshburn called in to say hello from orbit.
It's sort of a once-in-a-lifetime experience to be able to talk to them as they're just hurling around the Earth.
Marshburn fielded questions from "Do you have animals in space?" to
"Is space food tasty?"
It allows us, when we see those people, to put ourselves in their position and to see through their eyes, which is what we do on stage every night.
And these actors will take this experience with them as they continue to paint a picture through the stage. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Frank Delella.
And speaking of astronauts sending messages back from space, Tom Marshburn's commander Chris Hadfield sent a message of his own, David Bowie's Space Oddity, as performed from the International Space Station. That's all for this episode of It Ain't Rocket Science. We're going to leave you with a clip from Hadfield's video, and until next time, it's been a blast.
This is Major Tom to ground control.